first light of morning glimmers through the protective branches of Kokiri Forest, softly, touching each leaf with golden warmth. The world here wakes gradually. Dew lingers on, every blade of grass and tiny wildflower shimmering in the gentle light. The scent of pine is fresh and sweet, mingling with the clean earth, the ground padded by centuries of fallen needles and moss, soft beneath every step. No distant roads, no rumble of far-off cities. This world is only the quiet symphony of birds, swaying branches, and the flowing babble of a gentle brook winding through the trees. Below, a canopy woven tightly like a sheltering blanket. Time seems to slow. Shadows move across the grass as the sun climbs a little higher. Somewhere a leafy curtain parts, and a tiny fairy flits by on gossamer wings, her glow soft as the dawn itself. Every sound folds into the background, subtle, rhythmic, gentle. The laughter of Kokiri children echo, lightly, but it feels distant, part of a lullaby always humming at the edge of sleep. In the heart of this quiet glen, Link stirs in his simple home rooted at the base of an ancient tree. His waking thoughts are unhurried, allowed to float up on the tide of morning. Memories are vague here, his life a gentle stream without sharp turns or worries. As he sits up and welcomes the day, the wooden walls of his home seem to hug the space close, offering comfort, protection, and familiarity. He lets his fingers trace the smooth wooden grain, breathes deeply, and listens. The murmur of voices from outside, the sleepy rustle of the forest, the soft hush of wind. No worries press upon him. The world beyond the trees is unknown. And here, everything is as it always has been, peaceful, safe, a haven from the rush and tumble awaiting. Elsewhere, he rises, moves to the window, and lets the forest fill his view. Sunbeams drip through the leaves in soft puddles of luminance. A cool, delicate air drifts in, full of forest scents. It's a moment made for deep breaths. A scene that invites all tension to melt away. His steps are slow as he readies for the day, movements measured, no voice in his mind, hurrying him along, even as he opens the door and steps into the soft morning light. The ordinary tasks are soothing rituals, washing in cool water, tying laces, greeting familiar faces with lazy smiles. Time in the forest is a gentle tide, ebb and flow, hush and murmur. And as he steps out, the music of Kokiri life surrounds him. The patter of feet across wooden bridges, the gentle clink of tools at work, the far-off song of Saria's ocarina floating between the trees. There is nowhere else he needs to be and nothing to fight. There is only this calm, perpetual morning in a magical wood, the feeling of moss beneath his feet, and the certainty that life's next chapter will come softly when it's time, as he lets himself drift with the story. The forest deepens as Link walks its gentle paths, passing under sweeping boughs and through patches of sunlight dappled across the moss. Each step is muffled, cushioned by the rich floor, and the quiet is profound, only broken by the occasional soft chirp of a bird, or the distant rustle of branches moving in a lazy wind. The world feels spacious and soft, as if each tree is holding its breath in anticipation of something yet to come. Link's approach to the great Deku tree is unhurried. The ancient guardian stands at the forest's heart, immense and dignified, its branches stretching wide and heavy, leaves, whispering secrets above. The surface of its bark is rugged and worn, textured with countless years of gentle rains and sunlight. As Link draws near, he feels a steady, calming presence, an old and patient wisdom. He pauses at the foot of the tree, the earth cool beneath him, and lets his gaze settle up through the twisted branches and knots. It's as though the great Deku Tree is always watching, always listening, with roots that travel deep below and branches that cradle the sky. Time around the tree slows even further, the small noises of the forest fading into a restful hush. When the great Deku Tree speaks, its voice is low and soothing, rolling out in slow, melodic waves. It tells Link of an uneasy stirring, of a faint shadow that moves far beyond the forest, a subtle change in the wind. But the way the tree speaks, there is no hurry, no warning sharp enough to disturb the peace. Instead, it's a gentle encouragement, guiding hand resting softly on Link's shoulders, hinting at a gentle adventure beyond what he's ever known. A task is set, but it sits lightly, more as an invitation than a command. The great Deku Tree asks Link to journey outward, to watch over a world that feels far too large and distant for worry. The ancient tree's words carry the comfort of history, stories of old heroes, forgotten paths, and the gentle resilience of life growing quietly each season. Link listens with open heart, letting reassurance permeate the edges of his thoughts. There is time to reflect, time to feel the quiet importance of the moment. The air around the tree is dense with tranquility, saturating Link's senses with calm. Before leaving, Link stands for a while, breathing deeply, feeling rooted in the present as the world spins gently on. When he turns from the great Deku Tree, his spirit is calm and grounded, anticipation mingling with acceptance. The next gentle step awaits, as the forest encourages him onward, softly, slowly, with the patience of the trees and the promise of a safe journey. As Link moves through the tranquil glades of the Kokiri forest, time seems to stretch and slow, each footstep softened by the mossy earth and gently swaying ferns. The air is filled with a delicate chorus of birds and the distant melody of a flute, blending seamlessly with the gentle rustle of leaves above. Every moment carries the feeling of childhood memories, held in the gentle cradle of the woods, timeless and serene. The path is familiar, winding past leafy bridges and quiet clearings where the Kokiri children play. Their laughter is subdued, rising and falling like the distant sound of water, never loud or overbearing, always part of the forest's lullaby. Some gather shiny stones from the edges of streams, others weave tiny garlands from fragrant wildflowers. Here and there, voices drift through the trees, hushed and friendly, never hurried, offering greetings to Link as he passes. In the heart of the forest, a sunlit glen opens up beneath an ancient oak whose roots spiral like gentle guardians. Saria waits on a mossy log, the soft green of her hair almost blending with the world around her. Her eyes are warm, reflecting care and the easy trust of childhood spent among the trees. As Link sits beside her, silence envelopes them, comforting space in which friendship thrives without effort or need for words. Saria begins to play her ocarina, the tune soft and lilting, filling the air with a gentle magic. The notes drift upwards, spiraling like the wind, winding around the treetops and mingling With birdsong, the melody feels familiar, a soothing refrain that lingers in the mind long after it fades, as if promising that the comfort of home is always near, even when far away. They talk quietly, voices low and patient. Saria shares stories about the secret places of the forest, hidden groves where sunlight pools like liquid gold, ancient stones covered in velvet moss, and trees so old their branches whisper tales in the night wind. She speaks of dreams too, those gentle hopes that seem to flutter just out of reach, carried by breezes, and the passage of seasons. The other Kokiri children come and go, their interactions sprinkled delicately in the background. Some bring small tokens, a river-polished pebble, a flower woven into a ring, a piece of soft bark shaped by careful hands, all given and received with contented smiles and easy laughter. Their presence is restful, a living reminder that friendship, like the forest itself, is both a shelter and a soft place to land. As the morning deepens, Link finds himself soaking in the gentle rhythm of his childhood. Home. Saria's words tuck themselves into quiet corners of his heart, and the soft melody she teaches him, her song, becomes a gentle anchor promising guidance whenever he feels lost. She tells him that the song of the forest will always answer when he plays, weaving her hopes and care into every note. When the time finally comes to leave, there is no urgency, only calm acceptance. Saria hugs Link softly, her arms warm and steady, her voice a lullaby of reassurance. The glen is still, sunlight warm on their faces, as if the world itself is pausing to honor the bond shared. In this moment, the Kokiri friends wave, their smiles lingering like gentle echoes among the trees. With the song of friendship in his heart, Link steps away from the glen, the forest's music accompanying his every stride. Each step feels lighter, wrapped in the quiet comfort of Saria's promise and the soft strength of unbreakable bonds, a memory to carry forward. As the journey unfolds, with the forest's love always nearby, leaving Kokiri Forest is less a single moment and more a gentle drifting, as if the world opens in soft waves before Link's careful steps. The welcoming canopy gives way to open sky, stretching far above with shifting clouds painted in hues of pearl and pale blue. With every step, the scent of pine and moss lingers, gradually blending into the fresh crispness of dew-laden grass and blooming wildflowers. The path ahead is broad and gentle, the dirt soft underfoot, bordered by rolling meadows, where tall grasses sway lazily in the breeze. Golden sunlight trickles through, bathing everything in a restful haze that quiets the mind. The soft buzz of insects, the distant chirp of birds, and the occasional flutter of a butterfly are the only companions. Their presence, felt more than heard, as serene as the hush that fills a peaceful library at dawn. Link walks slowly, his eyes taking in every detail. A family of rabbits darting through the underbrush, shimmering dragonflies skimming a tranquil pond, and flocks of songbirds dipping between fragrant patches of clover. Every scene is gentle, drawn out, a moving painting that asks not to be rushed. Here and there, signs of peaceful life linger along the path. A farmer waving leisurely from his sleepy field. A mother shepherding her child across a wooden bridge, both smiling with the calm confidence of a world where time moves at the pace of growing things. Link returns every wave with a soft smile, his presence barely disturbing the quiet. He pauses sometimes to sit beneath the shade of a sprawling willow or to watch the sun drift higher, spilling gentle warmth on his face. A brook passes nearby, carving its patient way through smooth stones, the quiet trickle a soothing counterpoint to the day's stillness. In the distance, the walls of Hyrule Castle gleam, not imposing but welcoming. They're white, stones softened by sun and the golden haze of afternoon. As Link nears the drawbridge that connects the quiet countryside to the bustling square. Beyond, he pauses, taking in the breeze, the chorus of distant voices, the lingering flavor of Kokiri peace. The transition is as seamless as a dream, every step leaving behind the safety of childhood but carrying forward its warmth and gentleness. The town beyond the gates is not loud or bustling, but ebbs and flows in calm rhythms. Children's laughter swirling through sunlit streets, shopkeepers exchanging soft greetings, vendors calling out in mellow voices. Each sound is as gentle as the whisper of a turning page. Link moves without hurry, eyes wide with wonder but heart steady and unburdened. And through it all, the walls and turrets of Hyrule Castle loom gracefully nearby, tall, ancient, adorned with banners that flutter here and there in the soft wind. Their presence is not a fortress of worry, but a reassuring promise, a beacon of history and quiet protection. Near the castle gates, Link rests for a moment by the banks of the gentle moat, listening to the slow drift of water, the calls of distant doves, and the far-off chiming of the castle bells. The world feels expanded, every moment lengthened, carrying an undercurrent of slow anticipation, but always wrapped in the softest layers of calm. As daylight filters through the castle corridors ahead, Link knows he is safe, carried gently toward the next chapter, still surrounded by the peace of morning meadows and the hope that attends those who wander unhurried into kinder worlds. Link enters the heart of Hyrule Castle as if walking into a peaceful sanctuary, far removed from the world's hurried pulse. The grand hallways are bathed in gentle sunlight, soft and filtered through tall windows, casting patterns of color quietly on cool stone floors. The only sounds are those of his own footsteps and the distant, measured song of a harp notes, floating down from unseen chambers and blending seamlessly with the hush that fills the air. Servants and guards pass by without urgency, their movements calm, their greetings hushed. The scent of polished wood mingles with the faint aroma of blooming roses from the gardens outside. Link allows himself to linger, tracing his fingers over ancient tapestries that tell stories of heroes and legends, feeling the gentle thrum of history enveloping him like a weighted blanket. The climb to the inner courtyard is slow and deliberate, each step matched to the stately rhythm of the castle, a pace as restful as the ticking of an old grandfather clock at night. In the courtyard, a soft breeze moves through well-tended shrubs and flower beds, carrying the subtle sweetness of lavender and peonies. Sunlight dances across the surface of the fountain, glimmering in slow ripples. Amidst this tranquility stands Princess Zelda, her presence serene and composed, as if she's always belonged in the center of such calm. She greets Link with a gentle nod, inviting him to sit with her under the arch of climbing ivy. Her voice is quiet, words chosen with care, each syllable as measured as the music drifting through the castle walls. Zelda shares her secret in a way that's not alarming, but intimate, a confidence, exchanged between two gentle souls. She speaks of concerns about Ganondorf, shadow in the far distance of Hyrule's landscape, moving quietly and unseen. The words are not meant to disturb, but to inspire courage, preparing Link with knowledge and understanding framed always in hope. In between her revelations, Zelda tells Link stories of the castle, of her childhood, and of the gentle wisdom passed down through the royal family. She shows him a hidden nook in the garden where bluebells bloom year-round, a simple spot that brings her comfort when days feel heavy. As the two walk slowly in the dappled shade, their conversation turns to softer things, favorite songs, memories of peace, the simple pleasures of the changing seasons. Zelda's trust is a gentle gift, her wisdom a calm spring from which Link draws reassurance. When she gives him the next quiet task, urging him to care for the land and people of Hyrule, her hand lingers softly on his arm, a gesture of faith and friendship rather than command. There is nothing to fear here, only a sense of shared purpose, the quiet certainty that light will endure even in the faintest shadow. As their conversation draws to a close, the sun slants lower through the gardens, gilding their faces with warm gold. They part not with anxiety, but with a promise, spoken and unspoken, that they will face what comes together, gently, bravely, and always with hope. The castle remains behind, a resting place of memories and gentle strength, as Link moves onward with a heart full of calm resolve, ready for the next peaceful chapter of his journey in the hushed twilight of the castle's ancient halls. Link is led to a quiet room filled with the soft glow of candlelight and the subtle scent of old parchment and polished wood. Everything here invites stillness. The walls are adorned with faded murals of swirling stars and distant dreamers, hinting at the mysteries of time itself. At the center sits an ornate pedestal atop which rests the Ocarina of Time, delicate, gleaming softly as if lit from within by its own secret song. Link approaches, taking his time, fingers extending hesitantly before gently tracing the ocarina's elegant curves. The cool surface feels reassuring, weightless yet present. He lifts the instrument, cradling it in his hands, letting his thoughts settle into a quiet rhythm. There are no distractions here, just the soft flicker of candle flames, casting slow-moving shadows along the stone floor. He breathes deeply, listening, sensing history and possibility lingering in the air. When Link blows the first note, the melody emerges not as something abrupt but as a gentle whisper, a current that flows between centuries, unhurried. The song of time begins to fill the space, weaving around him like a cocoon, every note stretching and bending, pulling memories from the corners of his mind. The music is soothing, low, rolling tones mix with higher, airy notes that seem to drift like clouds across a patient sky. As the song unfurls, Link is carried on soft currents of nostalgia and hope. Time itself feels like a dream, moments stretching and folding back, days unwinding and rewinding, challenges smoothing away into gentle waves. There is no anxiety about the future or regret for the past, only the peaceful assurance that every step is part of a continuous, calming melody. With each repetition, the tune becomes both anchor and sail. It grounds Link in the present, allowing his thoughts to drift yet never rush, inviting listeners to breathe slowly and sink into the embrace of the story and song. He closes his eyes and lets the gentle power take hold, feeling only comfort and quiet possibility. The melody lingers, its magic, gentle and unobtrusive, settling into the silence between each note with elegant patience. In this sacred moment, time itself seems to rest, allowing everyone, Link, the castle, the world beyond, to breathe deeply and relax into the next chapter. The Song of Time is not a call to adventure, but a lullaby of peace, a promise that wherever the journey may lead, calm and hope will follow, carried forward by the quietest notes. Link walks from the golden light and busy heart of Hyrule Town into the embrace of ancient woods, where the world grows quieter and darker, framed by arching branches and the gentle whisper of leaves. The forest temple waits, hidden amidst the tangle of twisting roots and moss-soft ground, a structure that seems to have grown as much from time as from stone. Every step toward its entrance feels measured, patient, as if the earth itself is guiding Link onward with a steady hand. Outside the temple, the forest is timeless, birds calling softly from high perches, streams winding slowly by, and shadows deepening with every passing cloud. The air holds the scent of damp bark and wildflowers, a blanket of coolness that soothes as Link pauses before the temple doors, taking in every detail. The lichen climbing up ancient walls, the flutter of a distant moth, the dapple of sunlight shifting over worn carvings. Inside, the forest temple breathes in a slow, almost sacred rhythm. Stone corridors stretch out beneath high vaults draped with trailing vines, every surface softened by the passage of age. The silence is profound, punctuated only by the faint drip of water, the shuffle of leaves shifted by invisible breezes, the gentle clink of Link's boots on the stone. There are puzzles here, but they are not demanding. Each obstacle feels more like a quiet invitation to pause, observe, and ponder. Link moves with purposeful ease, tracing patterns with his eyes along walls engraved with faded symbols. He listens for the changes in sound, a distant door opening with a low groan, a switch clicking softly, the faint echoes that ripple outward in the shadowy halls. Light filters in through narrow cracks, creating shifting patches where dust motes dance. Slowly in the air, a gentle reminder of the world outside, always waiting, never lost. The temple itself is a place of memory, its chambers lingering with the presence of ancient heroes and stories told in the hush of night. Sometimes Link pauses by a window looking out to the forest below, letting his thoughts wander on gentle currents. There is no threat here, no urgency, only a sense of steady, patient progression, the satisfaction of subtle discovery, the quiet joy of piecing together a story one clue at a time. Occasionally, echoes of spirits drift by, never in alarm but in a slow, peaceful parade. Their voices low, their advice gentle, encouraging Link to try again, to notice what's hidden among the ivy and shadow. Time inside the temple is soft and elastic, drawn out by silence and the easy pacing of exploration. When Link finds key treasures, a glowing medallion, a forgotten artifact, they're received, not with clamor, but with a grateful hush. Each step forward is marked not by triumph, but by the calm certainty that all is unfolding as it should. Triumph is not the point. Peace, patience, and understanding are. After all challenges are met, Link exits as he entered. Unhurried, changed in quiet ways, and carrying a gentle wisdom from the forest temple. The wider woods seem to greet him, their ancient leafy arms swaying above, welcoming him home to calm, and to the next soft chapter of his journey. From the very first moments of his adventure, Link is joined by a gentle companion, Navi, the soft blue fairy whose presence glimmers like a twilight star. Her light hovers just over his shoulder, never harsh or intrusive, always a beacon of calm wherever the path might wind. She is more than a guide. She is a quiet friend, a patient witness to every step Link takes, a subtle source of reassurance in the fragile balance of day and night. The world is rarely silent, but with Navi, every sound feels gentler, every uncertainty less daunting. Her words, when they come, are never abrupt. Her advice is offered in light tones, her hints threaded with warmth. She hums softly at times, her sing-song voice, blending with winds rustling through grass or with the far-off gurgle of a brook, making the pauses in conversation feel comfortable and filled with peace. Navi floats along beside Link's every move, lighting the way down shadowy corridors and offering gentle encouragement when choices need to be made. When a puzzle seems complex or an obstacle insurmountable, she whispers softly, her tips calm and unhurried, dissolving confusion rather than commanding attention. Her guidance is a gentle push, rather than a pull, compassionate, never impatient. Sometimes, they pause together at the edge of a moonlit lake or beneath the arch of an ancient tree, sharing these moments of silence with the world around them. When night falls, Navi's glow is a comforting blue, casting haloed reflections on the water or painting patterns on moss and stone. Her laughter is light and airy, as subtle as a breeze through summer grass, a sound that says all is well, nothing needs to hurry, and every small step is enough. She celebrates the quiet victories, a hidden chest discovered under a blanket of ivy, clever solution to a puzzle, a safe rest after exploring a shadowed room. Her delight is never boisterous but fits perfectly with the restful cadence of Link's journey. More a murmur of well done than an excited shout, a glow that flares a little brighter in the calm of accomplishment. When Link is tired or uncertainty weighs upon him, Navi offers not only direction but comfort, a gentle invitation to rest for a moment and listen to the woods, to let the trouble become small in the hush of their companionship. She never pushes, her patience endless, her encouragement constant. With every sunrise and each gentle twilight, Navi becomes more than just a guide. She is a part of the ambient peace, a thread stitched through every landscape and every quiet triumph. Her bond with Link, built not on grand declarations but thousands of small moments, becomes the soft heart of the journey, a reminder that the brightest light often comes from the gentlest souls. As the roads lengthen and the world of Hyrule stretches out, Navi's presence remains steady, her glow a guiding comfort, and her friendship a gentle lullaby that soothes away uncertainty and invites every listener to breathe deep, relax, and drift forward, step by gentle step alongside Link. With the wisdom of friends and companions at his side, Link's journey unfolds into the broad expanse of Hyrule, a land that breathes in quiet rhythms, alive with moments best, savored slowly. The world stretches from the gentle banks of Lake Hylia to the misty foothills of Death Mountain, every scene tinged with the glow of sunlight or the silver wash of moonlight. Time seems to slow in Hyrule. Each step forward is met not with urgency but with a sense of gentle curiosity, the landscape inviting minds and hearts to wander peacefully along its winding roads. In the daylight, villages come alive in slow motion. Townsfolk trade stories and laughter in sun-dappled squares, the clatter of market stalls softened by distance and the calm of friendly voices. The scent of fresh bread mingles with blossoms on open windowsills, and musicians strum soothing melodies that drift lazily on warm breezes. Children play unhurried games among the wildflowers, their laughter rising and falling like distant bells, cheerful but never clamorous. Fields spread out in golden waves, dotted with gentle animals grazing in the shade, and farmers move at their own patient paces under sky-wide blue. Link walks these paths, greeted by nods and smiles, welcome but never overwhelming, each encounter like a soft brushstroke on the landscape of his adventure. As the day sinks into the comforting embrace of dusk, Hyrule transforms. The world does not grow dark but shifts into deeper, richer colors. Lanterns glow warmly in windows, their light spilling over cobbled stones and quiet porches. Along the riverbanks, fireflies gather in slow clouds, pulsing in gentle, rhythmic patterns that soothe the eye and hush the mind. The nights in Hyrule are peaceful, filled with soft whispers and the low hum of crickets. Beneath the stars, sometimes Link traverses shadowed places, old ruins draped in moss where the air is cool and still, or silent woods where moonbeams turn leaves silver. The shadows here are not hostile, merely part of the world's natural tapestry. A gentle reminder that both quiet, mystery and bright comfort exist side by side. Even in the deepest woods, Link feels protected by the lessons learned and the bonds formed, a steady assurance that nothing here is meant to frighten or rush. Resting at a campfire near a wide lake, Link lets his thoughts drift like leaves on water. The flames crackle softly, sending up little whirls of warmth and light. He listens for sounds, the distant splash of a fish, the soothing rustle of reeds, the soft music of a nightbird, and lets his breathing slow until each exhale stretches out the silence. The world around him is safe, a place of rest, gentle dreams, and calm reflection. As the breeze stirs, carrying the scent of earth and rain, Link remembers how every place, in Hyrule, bright or shadowed, is part of the same story, woven through with kindness and patience. The light here strengthens the spirit, while the shadow cradles it, both holding space for quiet adventure and gentle rest. With every step through Hyrule's trails and fields, Link grows more certain of the balance and beauty of his world. A land to be experienced in tranquility, each night and day as restful as the gentle music in his heart. Night folds gently over Hyrule as Link finds a quiet place in a sheltered grove, not far from the crossroads of his journey. The sky stretches out in deepest indigo, studded with stars that shimmer softly, like silent watchful friends spread across the heavens. A small campfire crackles beside him, its orange glow flickering, casting playful patterns on the forest floor. The world is hushed, no rush, No clamor, just the gentle cadence of a night, meant for rest and reflection. Link lets his thoughts drift like leaves on the surface of a slow-moving stream, remembering the gentle joys and kindnesses of his journey, the laughter of friends, the hush of Saria's song, the serene wisdom in Zelda's voice. All these linger in his heart, weaving together into a tapestry of warmth and safety. He gazes at the flames, watching their shapes dance and swirl, feeling a comfort as old as the forest itself settle into his bones. Ahead lies the promise of a challenge, an encounter not with anger or fear, but with the shadow that is simply another shape in the tapestry of Hyrule's light. Yet there is no dread. Here, no tension to disturb the quiet night. The world seems to lean in, supporting Link with the calm acceptance of those who have always watched over him. Navi hovers near, her light gently blue and steady. She speaks occasionally, each word a pebble dropped in a still pond. Reminders that there are many ways to be brave and that courage itself can be quiet. A soft presence that stays through the dark and guides toward the dawn. Her voice is like a lullaby, as reassuring as the echo of Ocarina's notes still, ringing in the sleeping air. As the fire burns low, embers popping with the last warmth of the day, Link prepares, not by sharpening a sword, but by settling deeper into this peaceful moment. He breathes in the smell of wood smoke and wildflowers, feels the grass cool beneath his fingers. Every piece of advice, every hope shared by friends, every memory of gentle places. These are the tools he will carry into the final trial. The moon rises higher, silvering the gentle curve of Hyrule's fields. Even the distant towers of the castle, dark against the sky, exude a patient strength. There is a sense that all of Hyrule is at rest, trusting, believing, holding its breath not in fear but in quiet anticipation. For what comes next, Link closes his eyes for a time, letting the weight of destiny become soft and natural, cradled by the world's hush. When he opens them, he feels renewed, not by the need to fight, but by a simple resolve that comes from being loved, supported, and at peace. The road ahead will have its shadows, but even those are gentle now, just another piece of the tranquil night. With a last, steady breath, Link stands, his heart light and spirit full. The fire's glow flickers. One more time, sending up a soft curl of smoke that disappears into the star-laden sky. The journey is not about endings or bravery defined by challenge, but about the serenity that follows gentle effort, the peace of carrying hope, and the quiet certainty that whatever tomorrow brings, everything will unfold as it should. And as he walks toward the horizon, accompanied by the softest music only a true hero can hear, the world of Hyrule settles just a little deeper into sleep, wrapped in the serene courage and kindness of its quiet champion.